Please subscribe to this channel for more videos related to Catholic Christian teaching. Although there is no decision of the Church on this topic, however, theologians generally hold that God cooperates immediately in every act of His creatures, in opposition to the theory of occasionalism, which denies that created things have their own causality, and to deism, which denies all subsequent intervention of God in created things. The Roman Catechism teaches that God, by means of a most intrinsic power, impels everything that moves and acts to its movement and activity. Occasionalism is a philosophical doctrine about causation which says that created substances cannot be efficient causes of events. Instead, all events are taken to be caused directly by God. Deism is the belief in the existence of God who does not intervene in the universe after creating it. Deism emphasizes the concept of natural theology, that is, God's existence is revealed through nature without any reliance on revealed religions or religious authority. The Roman Catechism, or Catechism of the Council of Trent, is a compendium of Catholic doctrine commissioned during the Counter-Reformation by the Council of Trent to expound doctrine and to improve the theological understanding of the clergy. It was published in 1566. The cooperation of the first cause with the secondary causes is known as divine cooperation. The divine cooperation in the natural order is called concursus naturalis. To distinguish it from special supernatural intervention of God through grace in rational creatures. The divine cooperation is known as concursus physicus. To distinguish it from a merely moral intervention which derives from some external cause, that is, a command, advice, a threat. It is called concursus immediatus. To distinguish it from a merely mediate intervention by means of the bestowal and conservation of self-sufficient natural powers. Finally, it is called concursus universalis, insofar as it affects all the activities of all creatures without exception. Sacred Scripture frequently ascribes to God the activity of created causes. For example, the formation of human life in the mother's womb, the dispensing of rain, nourishment, and clothing. However, these passages could be understood as referring to the immediate cooperation of God. Isaiah chapter 26 verse 12, however, and especially Acts 17 verse 28, indicate an immediate cooperation. You have accomplished for us all our works. In Him we live and move and have our being. Saints Jerome and Augustine defend the immediate divine cooperation in all natural activities against the Pelagians, who limited the cooperation of God to the bestowal of the ability to be active. Pelagianism is a Christian theological position that was taught in the 5th century by Pelagius and his followers. It is named after Pelagius, a British monk who lived from around 354 to 418 AD. Pelagianism is considered a heresy by the Catholic Church in its denial of original sin and Christian grace, and that humans can achieve perfection through their own free will. The intrinsic reason for the necessity of the divine cooperation lies in the entire dependence of all created being on God. As the activity of the creature has a real being which is distinct from the power from which it flows, so this being must also be caused by God. The physical act of sin, insofar as it is the operation of the sensual and spiritual powers of the creature, is an existing reality. The moral deficiency which is associates with the physical act derives from the free will of the creature, who alone is guilty. God, in consequence of his infinite perfection, cannot be the cause of moral defect. The cooperation of the causa prima and the causae secundae is not to be conceived as a mechanical working together, but as an organic activity in one another and with one another. Hence, it is incorrect to ascribe part of the activity to be divine cause and part to be the creature. The action as a whole belongs to the divine as well as the created cause. The created cause is subordinated to the divine in such a manner, however, that its own causality is not abrogated. Although the first cause has the greatest influence on the effects, its influence is still determined and specified by the proximate cause. In the more exact determination of the mode and manner of the cooperation of the divine and the created cause, in the free action of rational creatures, the Thomists and the Molinists differ. The Thomists teach that God, through a physical premotion, brings the created power from potency to act, and through a simultaneous cooperation, accompanies the activity of the creature during its whole duration. The Molinists teach that God's immediate physical cooperation depends on the free decision of the human will, but not as an effect depends on a cause, but as the conditioned depends on the condition. The divine cooperation begins in the instant in which the will goes over from potency to act. Prior to the free decision, God works only morally and indirectly on the will. The The Molinists refute to accept a physical premotion and only accept a simultaneous cooperation. Thomism emphasizes God's omnicausality and the ubiquitous dependence of the creatures. Molinism emphasizes the freedom of the will, but seems to weaken the essential dependence of the creatures upon God. Please go to YouTube Retirement Mentality channel, playlist Divine Act of Creation, for the complete series of these materials.